And give me a minute here, guys. This is the news that we are waking up to for Friday, December 20th, 2024, day 1031 of the full scale invasion. Now, look, I was personally rocked out of bed at 7:05 this morning by several large explosions. I think I tweeted about that or put it on social media. And we just got the numbers for incoming last night. Of the 65 drones of various types, 40 were shot down, 20 were redirected. 5 are either still in the air or hit their targets at this time, and we are under air alert still. Of the 6 Iskander M's or KN-23s, these are Russian ballistic missiles and North Korean ballistic missiles. Of the 6 that were shot at the territory of Ukraine last night, 5 were taken out. Those 5 were directed at Kyiv, right? Because Kyiv has good layered air defense. The other one, along with a KH-5969 variant, struck a residential complex in Kyiv, and we're waiting for the damage assessment there, but there are undoubtedly casualties. There are undoubtedly people killed, and there are lots of people injured. So they hit a residential complex there. Now, here in Kyiv, the missiles were taken out, right? They were airbursted. And I'll tell you, it's a weird thing to say, but after 2 years living here, when I was woken up this morning, I knew immediately that it was an airbursted Iskander that had rocked me out of bed and made the apartment shake a little bit. And it was not far from here. My friend Chornobrova shot this video in front of her apartment. Here, I'll play this for you. You can see the fire is still burning. There are concerns that there are unexploded ordnance in that. Let's see. Will this not play? I don't know why that won't play. Okay, we'll let it be. But there are concerns that there are unexploded ordnance in part of one of the Iskanders or KN-23s that came down. This is Antonovich Street. My friend lives in an apartment there. The front of her building, thank God she's in the back. There's not an unbroken window in the front of the building. The pressure wave from the air detonation of this missile shattered look at the glass on the ground. The ground is covered in glass. In the cab this morning on the way to the market, I drove down a street where there wasn't an unbroken window on the whole street. The pressure wave comes and the glass shatters, and that's what we see here. And there are fires burning all around Kyiv from the debris of these missiles landing in the city. Lots of private cars are on fire. Lots of private homes, apartments are on fire. It's not a good situation. Oh, there we go. Right, so you can see the front of these buildings and the side, the glass is just shattered in all of them. But you go a block or two away, and you're back to life is fine. That's the problem. That's one of the problems with this war. For us here in Kyiv, most of the time you don't have to think about it if you don't want to. While for the people on the front, it is a never-ending reality of violence. This was just posted by the Kyiv Post, and we just heard the sirens right before I began filming. There is an air raid alert in progress now for Kyiv, and they are warning that it could be a launch of the Oreshnik type, which Putin had threatened last night during his annual phone-in call show, where the great leader, the Tsar, listens to the common people as if he gives a shit, which he does not. Zelensky, in response to Putin, called him a dumbass, which friends of mine here in Kyiv did not appreciate. They feel that it's antagonistic, that it's going to bring down the wrath of the Russian government. And I'm sorry, but look, the Russian government has hit you with all the wrath it has. You cannot be afraid of these people. You cannot cower in fear to these bullies just because they have nuclear weapons, just because they have these Oreshniks, or they claim to anyway. We don't know yet whether or not they've solved the payload problem for the Oreshniks. We may find out today. We may well find out today. This is the real reason this is happening. This is the real reason why Putin sends his missiles to terrorize the people of Ukraine, because he cannot win on the battlefield. Keith Kellogg, U.S. diplomat and Trump's appointee to Kyiv and Moscow for peace negotiations, acknowledged in an interview on Fox News yesterday that Russian losses are 5 times Ukrainian losses. Right, five times those numbers right there. That means the Russians have put in the ground 215,000 men. And yesterday's losses were a record breaker. 2,200 men removed from the battlefield. Many of them North Koreans. As of yesterday, the South Korean intelligence agency told us that 1,000 North Koreans had been wounded and were removed from the battlefield for serious wounds, while another 100 had been unalived. So the frustration that the Russians have that they cannot crush the beating heart of this nation leads to these acts of terror against the people of Ukraine. Because there's no military application, there's no military purpose in hitting an apartment building in Kryvyi, other than the fact that Zelensky is from that town, and you're trying to punish his town, his friends, his people, his supporters. That's what you're doing. It's insanity. Putin looked insane yesterday. He was so far removed from reality that he said that he had not been defeated in Syria, that he had accomplished all his goals in Syria. Really? You spent $32 billion to be driven out of the country by a bunch of Islamist rebels? Interesting. You are the master strategist, after all. So, guys, things here are unsettled this morning. There's no two ways about it. People are walking around in a daze. They are shocked. They're having panic attacks. The war came right into Kyiv, the most protected city in this country. And people are faced with the grim reality of getting through it. And many will be faced, I'm sure, with the grim reality of burying their dead, because there will be casualties from this. I will be shocked and amazed if no one was killed this morning. Shocked and amazed. I don't expect that to be the case. Okay, that's the news that we are waking up to for Friday, December 20th, 2024. I've got some baking to do, but as today unfolds, look for updates on the Tickety Talk. Thank you.